So basically, you have to make sure that you use one word because that'd be easier for your programming. Also, you can use capital letters. I've used small letters, but you don't have to. You can use capital letters. You cannot copy the actual names of these tables exactly as this is. You have to create your own names for your tables. This could either be note or letter table, or a memo table, because when you send a memo to somebody in a business, and then recipient could be customers or clients or co-workers or the public or people. Could use other words for this recipient table. And then in the message, you must make sure that the message table, in this table, the one side, this is your one side, that's your many side. In the one side, you've got to make sure that everything inside this one side is only talking about the message or note or letter. That's the trick. On the one side, every field inside here must describe a message. It mustn't describe anything else. This is what we talk about normalizing a table. There's a primary key there, and every other field only describes this particular table itself. Mine is called message. Yours might be note or letter or memo, any one of those. Recipient or client or customer. This one has got things describing that recipient or client or customer, but then it's got a foreign key, because on the many side we make a copy of the one side's primary key, we put it on the many side, and then that creates our one-to-many relationship. I'm going to show how to delete that relationship. You can delete it by right-clicking on it, and then you can go and create the relationship by clicking on message ID, dragging down until we hover over the message ID in the recipient table, and then click on Enforce Referential Integrity and click on Create. And so, as I said, we can right click and delete it. Sometimes we have to delete it if we're going to change data in one of these tables. Then we have to delete the relationship and create it again. So I'll show you again. That is how we did it. And there it is back. So if I had to change any kind of data in one of these tables, it might decide, no, you can't because there's a relationship. Then all you do is go to your database tools, relationship diagram, and then you'll see that you can right click and delete this relationship. It's a bit tricky. You must make sure you right click on the actual line. Right, are we ready for going ahead with our program? Now this, immediately, I want you all to go to your database tools and relationships, because this is now your relationship diagram, and you're going to put this in your phase 1, and you're going to make a screenshot of it. If there's any other table there, like for instance, if you right click and click show table, you see you can go and add a table. If you see any other table there, and sometimes I've seen this where there's a table on top says message, in this case says message _1. That means that I've changed the table and then another table has been created. But all you have to do is move it away, right click and hide the table. And then you're back to you're not changing any tables, you're not deleting the tables, you're just hiding it. So you only see these two. So this is what we want to see. And this is going to be your relationship diagram. You can hold the control key on the keyboard and press print screen, because you've got to make a screenshot of this. Control print screen. Find a print screen button on your keyboard, hold the control key, print screen, and then we open Microsoft Word. If you don't do it now, you're going to have a problem later on where you have to catch up and you won't have time, and I'm not going to have time to help you either. So here we have our picture. We pasted it, control print screen, and you paste it into a Word document, and picture format, crop, and I'm going to give you each an opportunity to print it now. It's a good idea to print it, but crop the picture and resize it again to make it large enough. and then you can do this. So that is what one thing you're going to do. So you have this relationship diagram. It's very important. The other thing that's very important is to have your table in not datasheet view. You need to view your table in design view and screenshot that as well. So you double click your table, view, design view, and screenshot that. Now I'm going to have to change my resolution so that we can do that. I won't be able to do the screenshot without my resolution being, in other words, the picture being smaller for you to see. So there it is, the actual database in, well, because people at the back can't see. Now I'm going to put it into control print screen, so you can screenshot your other. This is also important. You have to do it for your documentation anyway, and obviously do it if you're 100% sure you're not going to change your database. I know I'm not going to change my database, but if you think you're going to change your database in any way, then rather leave this step out for now. But in the meantime, we do need to have the entity relationship diagram, and you can then go and print your relationship diagram, so that's easier for you to deal with when you're actually writing your code. Of course, don't forget to put your descriptions here. It's very important to put descriptions here. Make sure your short text has been changed to a field size applicable to the contents of that field. This is very important. There's marks allocated for your different data types, and we have quite a mixture here because in our messages table we have a date and time, we have a number, and in the recipient we have we've also got number as well. But don't forget the rep ID. The primary keys of those tables are auto numbers, which makes the programming a whole lot easier for you. So wait, I was just getting the recipient table and screenshotting that. Control print screen, and I'm going to paste that into my Word document, because this you have to put into your documentation and talk about your tables later. Don't forget to add your description, so that when you actually screenshot this into your phase 1, you do not have to go and type in a whole description for every single field. It will already be there in the description because you screenshot that whole thing. You know, over here, you screenshot that. Right, I'm going to close this now. So we've done that, and this is a very important part, this here. So you can then go and print this and use it when you're doing your code.